We are live once again. Things are happening. Timothy is back, and finally, we're having the rally. It's a fun time. It's a fun time to be an investor, and the Chinese are paying the bills. What can I say? But we're going to talk about that later in this episode of Market Pod. Cryptos, I know you're like a crypto trader, and I know you want to pay attention. So, what's your macro view? What has happened this week that has piqued your interest?
So the most important stuff we're seeing right now is Bitcoin is basically consolidating, and there's a new giant in the room that's going on a little trip, moving away from the K we saw and breaking out, heading for K. I'm talking about Ethereum, and everyone is talking about it on social media. And a lot of people still have that fear, like, oh my god, it's gonna be a fake art, it's gonna be again another crash back down lower. But I think it's truly a reversal. I think we're finally seeing Bitcoin reversing against Ethereum. No, Ethereum reversing against Bitcoin. And I wanted to show you the chart. Let's get the chart where you check the Ethereum chart against Bitcoin. So basically what it shows you is how is Ethereum performing against Bitcoin. And in the last 4 years, I mean, for real, 4 years it took for Ethereum to really start to move higher. You check that from here, December 21, the low April 25, basically a downtrend for Ethereum, all the way down below the 200 moving average. It had some fake outs, so I understand this could be another fake out, so you have to watch closely, like, can it hold that green line, which is a 200 moving average? But so far, yeah, we're seeing a higher low here, which is indicative of a uptrend, and a higher high. All right, so that's, for me, clearly showing something is changing. Now, I have positioned my Bitcoin a bit more into Ethereum. I actually sold some at 123K when it topped lately, and I do think it can go higher, but I think there's more opportunity in Ethereum right now. Just look at this chart. I mean, it can make another leg higher to this region, which is in dollar terms very, very much. So that's why I'm playing more Ethereum right now. Another thing to play are the Ethereum betas. So when you think about Ethereum, you think about DeFi, you think about meme coins, you can think about stable coins. So I want to give 3 altcoins that are linked to Ethereum in a way that they can outperform even Ethereum if Ethereum just continues higher. And the first one to give you today is probably my favorite, Pepe. And I've talked about Pepe a lot, even in previous streams. And right now, here is where I was saying, like, here is the support for Pepe, and I'm seeing it trend higher if Ethereum trends higher. And right now, Pepe is kind of breaking out even above this resistance. And I do own Pepe now in my portfolio after seeing this breakout. You want to really let it hold this level, but I think Pepe compared to Ethereum hasn't done much. But if Ethereum really starts to pick up and even makes new highs, I mean, this altcoin Pepe is gonna explode much, much higher. I mean, just to go to all-time highs is 100%. And Pepe was actually built and launched after Ethereum's all-time high. So we've never really see Pepe do silly stuff when Ethereum is at all-time high. So I'm really curious to see, like, how is Pepe going to react when Ethereum finally makes new highs. Then the second altcoin I wanna tell you about is CRV. I think
That's
Mimi talked a lot
Curve.
about CRV, curve.
Yeah. Mimi has been shilling for it.
Mimi has
Yeah.
been shilling for it, and she has a good reason for it because it's all about stable coins lately, and CRV is basically the king of stable coins. And look at that move. I mean, in the last, let's say week, it moved up 100%. And you might think, bam, too late, the party is over. But with Ethereum moving higher, there's a lot of catch up to do. So would I buy here? Probably not. I would wait for a retest. You can either wait for a retest when it hits this top level, or I had 0.6 in my head previously as resistance, so this becomes suddenly support. You might think, oh wow, it's gonna go all the way down to this. That's why I place buy orders. I never buy spot directly. I make sure that I place my orders and just leave it. So you're not distracted whenever the price hits that level. You don't have to think twice. It just automatically buys. If it doesn't hit that level, no worries. We will get dips along the way. Crypto is very, very volatile. But yeah, that's why CRV is on my list of one of the best performers right now. And which was the other one? In terms of DeFi, you have AAVE, and I've also mentioned this to you before, Nestor. AAVE is like the DeFi king of Ethereum, and it's been around since past cycle, very strong, even available on other chains. But yeah, it's grown a lot on Ethereum, and right now it's making new local highs also. So really strong price action. I'm actually looking to enter if it can make like a small dip to that 270 level again. That would be great. Just buying at support would be great, and continuing higher. So those are like 3 options you have in terms of Ethereum. Let us know in the chat if you have better options. We can maybe show them on the screen, but those are like my favorites right now. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah. Some of the things that Mimi was talking to me about H bar. What else? Sui. All of
H-bar
these
very
different
strong.
coins. Yeah. So some of these coins, I actually bought some. I'm actually making some bank there, in my crypto wallet. So thank you, Mimi. Take my hat off. But yeah, I mean, like the market's been going pretty nuts. Like it does feel that we are on risk on sentiment. And for those who, and Stellar, Mimi says Stellar as well. So
Excellent. For sure.
yeah. What's your opinion on XLM? Because I want to stay away from giving any opinions on this because it's so far, so deep for me. You know what I mean? I'm like, I like the shore. I like the shore with my Bitcoin holdings.
Yes.
And I
So
go a little bit deep because I know Mimi and you are paying attention. You know what I mean? But
yeah. The story behind XLM is basically, Mimi can correct me if I'm wrong, but you have XRP, which is like the real value to the banks and everything in terms of transactions, and XLM is more for retail. But if you'll see XRP perform well, which it did in the last couple of weeks, you'll see XLM also move with it. And that's exactly what we're seeing. XRP almost hitting that $3 again, or did it hit $3? I don't know. And you're seeing XLM move with it. Personally, I prefer XRP because it's much stronger in terms of looking at the chart. But maybe XLM can just move a bit slower and pick up on XRP later on. So definitely a lot of coins to check out. I mean, I always say pick 5 to 10 coins, but I know Mimi has a ton of more. But for me personally, I can't evaluate all of them if they go beyond 10 in my portfolio. I really need to narrow it down, maybe pick one in each sector. Like DeFi will be, for example, if you have the majors, I would pick Bitcoin. For Ethereum, I now pick Pepe. So You really have to decide for yourself if you're able to monitor all the coins, because once Bitcoin really starts to crash and eventually we will see some volatility again, you have to be quick in removing the altcoins that are weak, because you don't want to be like back holding all these coins for another cycle. Okay, you have to think about taking profits, make sure you have your plan set where you want to take profits, where you want to scale out a bit, because otherwise you'll end up like most of the crypto users, just holding bags for multi years, and then 1 year it go up again. But if you're not selling, what's the
Then it
point?
doesn't matter. Yeah, it does not matter. That's one thing that I've learned in all of the rallies we've had in the stock market since 2020. You know, it's been like some of the stocks that I'm holding, and you're talking about taking profits, and I'm even taking profits on Nvidia right now. You know what I mean? Which I'm sort of surprised to be saying, because I love the stock, and I don't think the narrative has changed. You know? But one of the important things with it is just, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at, like, you know, it's like, what am I looking for? Am I looking for cash in the bank, or am I looking for pretty numbers on my broker account? You know what I mean? So it's like, I just felt that, you know, and obviously, like, there is additional reasons. Like, I in my Etoro portfolio, I barely sold any. I'm planning to start like getting rid of a little bit just to put my position down and my risk down. But on my personal portfolios, I'm actually just selling a lot because I'm on NVDL, which is a little bit more volatile than Nvidia itself. It's a 2x leverage ETF. By the way, this is not financial advice. This is just my personal experience. So use it as inspiration, not as gospel. Don't do what I do. I'm just some random guy on the internet. But make sure to check out our portfolios down below to check out our ideas and what we're doing with our portfolio.